Sony, you're just spoiling us at this point. After the release of the trailer for Across the Spider-Verse, in which we got to speculate on a bunch of spider people making appearances in the upcoming movie, they've released this gorgeous new poster, which has our spidey sense tingling with excitement. Not only that, but there's also a wider international poster, featuring even more of our favorite Spider-Men from across the multiverse. So let's take a look and see what new and exciting crossovers we're going to be treated to in Across the Spider-Verse. We spotted 40 spider people in this poster and we're here to break them all down for you. This is just going to be a fast head count, so if you want a full breakdown of all the Easter eggs we've managed to spot in the previous trailer, check out our video on the topic. Now hang on to your symbiote suits, cuz we're swinging into action. First of course we get a look at an unmasked Miles Morales. He looks a bit older than in the previous movie and his suit bears some claw marks, likely a souvenir from a fight with Spider-Man 2099, aka Miguel O'Hara. He's also shown hanging upside down as opposed to all the other spider people, a sign of his outsider status. Spider-Gwen is also back. As we've seen, she will act as a sort of supporting character and guide to Miles as he navigates through the multiverse. Next we catch a glimpse at the seeming antagonist of the movie, Spider-Man 2099, aka Miguel O'Hara. In the foreground, we see Indian Spider-Man, aka Paviter Prabhakar from Earth 50101. Moving on to the left, we see our favorite clone, Ben Reilly in his Scarlet Spider costume. Probably the most famous Clone Saga alum hero turned villain turned hero turned villain. Right behind him we have our pregnant Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. The Spider-Verse's punk rocker is also ready to rock, as Hobie Brown from Earth 138 can be seen right behind Gwen Stacy. Now next to him we see a cartoony-looking Spider-Man wearing what looks like a fur parka with a hood pulled over his head. Call us crazy, but maybe this is a nod to one of those kooky accessorized action figures from the 90s which were released as part of the marketing strategy for the animated series? If this is the case, it could be none other than Arctic Spider-Man. Not one to shy away from a good fight, the bombastic Bagman also makes a cameo, sporting his iconic brown paper bag, though unfortunately no Fantastic Four logo is in sight, due to copyright issues. Speaking of odd masks, also peeking out from behind Gwen is Spider-Bite, the digital vigilante introduced in the 2018 storyline, Edge of Spider-Verse, the prequel to Spider-Geddon. He hails from a reality in which people spend most of their time plugged into the virtual world, with little to no connection to the outside reality. Sound familiar? Fittingly positioned close to Jessica Drew, we see Julia Carpenter, another version of Spider-Woman from Earth 616, created as part of a government experiment led by the Commission on Superhuman Activities. Another interesting female spider variant is Sunspider, aka Charlotte Weber from Earth 20023. Charlotte started out as a Spider-Sina, which was basically fan art. Marvel decided to showcase some fan creations in Volume 3 of the Spider-Verse comic books and Sunspider was among these designs. She has since appeared in several stories, alongside other similar fan creations. Speaking of Spider-Women, this Warhammer-looking beast is Cyborg Spider-Woman. The character was likely inspired by the Revenge of the Sinister Six storyline, in which Spider-Man received cybernetic implants to help him in his fight against his enemies. Only here we know it's a female version of the Cyborg Spider-Man because of prematurely released merchandise. Swinging back to the other side real quick, we see the fastest web in the West. This is Webslinger, aka Patrick O'Hara from Earth TRN 604, also known as the Wild West universe. He is also widely known as the Spider Cowboy with the Spider Horse. And who's that peeking from behind the Spider Cowboy's hat? It's none other than Spider-Cat from Earth 999. Not much to say about him, except he's a cat. With spider powers. Hold on. We've missed a few, haven't we? Let's go back. At first we thought that this guy was wearing a fur coat, so who could he be? Spider Cruella de Vil? No, this is actually Peter B. Parker, wearing his coat and his baby carry, likely supporting Mayday Parker. This chrome dome is an armored Spider-Man, probably the Spider Armor Mark I. Up on the left side, we see a bug-eyed Spidey resembling Ultimate Spider-Man, specifically the one designed for the 2012 Disney XD series. Spider-Man Mark II, aka the Bulletproof Armor, also makes an appearance here. He's easily identified due to his slick glowing yellow eyes and black mask. And that's about it for the main poster, but that's not all. We've still got the extended international poster to go over. So without further ado, whom do we have here, front and center? It's none other than the spectacular Spider-Man from the brilliant 2008 animated series. There's no doubt about this one, as someone asked Across the Spider-Verse writer Christopher Miller if this was spectacular Spider-Man, and he pretty much confirmed it. Swinging on towards the left, we see Spinneret, Mary Jane Watson from Earth 18119. We know from the trailer we're also going to get her daughter, Spiderling. Right behind Indian Spider-Man we can see the Spider-Man in the business suit that we noticed in the trailer. Unfortunately, we still have no idea who he is supposed to be. If you happen to know who this corporate Spidey is, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to find out. But don't go medieval on our behinds for not knowing this. Speaking of medieval, here we see Spider-Knight, the Prince of Arachne, from the Spider-Man Fairy Tales comic book series, taking place on Earth 71004. Not much to say about this one, except he's a medieval knight, wearing a spider-themed armor. And since we're on the topic of medieval knights, here is another Spider-Knight, from the medieval universe, aka Peter Parker from Earth TRN 458. This one's from the Disney XD series Ultimate Spider-Man. This could also be the Spider Armor Mark III from the Ends of the Earth storyline. Moving forward in time, we go from medieval to the Mexican Revolution, with this sombrero-wearing Mexican Spider-Man. This might be an exaggerated take on Bandito Miles Morales from Earth 1610. It could also be a throwback to an old meme, Spider Fiesta, inspired by a scene from Ultimate Spider-Man. Here we see another fan favorite, Spider-Man Unlimited from the Saban TV series from the late 90s. Next to him we see Maybelle Riley from Earth 803, aka Lady Spider, a Victorian steampunk version of our favorite neighborhood Spider-Man. We have another fan favorite from the comics, the Iron Spider armor used by Spidey during the Civil War event. Speaking of fan favorites, next to Spinneret, we can see the PS4 Insomniac Spider-Man, with his iconic white emblem. Then we have yet another Spider-Man wearing a business suit with a matching red spider tie with his iconic webbing pattern. One of these stylish Spider-Men might just be Mr. Spider-Man, aka Professor Spidey from the comics, but we might be way off with this one. Next to Bagman, we see that beefy Spider-Man we saw in the trailer. We speculated back then that this could be Peter Parker from Earth 91240, in which he is a member of the ruthless mercenary group the Infernal Four, working under the God Emperor Dr. Doom. Moving on, this alien-looking tyke right here is probably Arachnido Jr. This is Jr., the son of a luchador from Earth 15349, who took on the persona of Arachnido Jr., acting as a protector and vigilante in Mexico City. He was later recruited into Spider-Man's Spider Army during the multiversal conflict against the Spidey hunting inheritors. Since we're talking about international Spider-Men, we have no idea what's going on here, but this gentleman seems to be wearing some kind of helmet and a kimono. This leads us to speculate that this might be an interpretation of the special edition Samurai Spider-Man action figure from Bandai. This figure was part of the Tamashii Nation series, which also featured samurai versions of Iron Man, Captain America and Wolverine from Marvel, as well as several characters from the Star Wars franchise, including Darth Vader and Kylo Ren. Alright, we know you've been waiting for this one, so here he is. Werewolf Spider-Man, Peter Parker from Earth 7085, a world plagued by lycanthropy. We've seen him in the trailer and now we can get a better look at him, in all his canine glory. Next to him, we see an older version of Spider-Man, complete with glasses and a collared coat. This is Ezekiel Sims from the Edge of Spider-Verse saga. Also known as Old Man Spider, Sims took up the mantle of Spider-Man after the death of his universe's Peter Parker. He was one of the many Spider people recruited by Spider UK to oppose the inheritors. This ripped gentleman certainly made the most of his gym membership. This is Spider-Hulk, from the Web of Spider-Man story arc. As the name suggests, he's essentially a combination of Spidey and Hulk. We have no idea whether this is supposed to be Spider-Raiden from Mortal Kombat or Spider-Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. The only thing that comes to mind is Wizard Spider-Man from the collector's edition of Wizard magazine from 1997. If you happen to know what's going on here, please educate us in the comments. We'd love to know the origin of the Spider Sorcerer's Apprentice. We know this guy from the previous trailer, as he appeared in several scenes. This is Captain Spider, Flash Thompson from Earth 78127. Next, this guy who's getting a bit long in the tooth is Doppelganger, the six-armed savage near brain-dead duplicate of Spider-Man created by Magus during the Infinity War. Moving towards the left edge of the screen, who's that? Slender physique, elongated buggy eyes and a spider emblem that reaches all the way down to his torso, sound familiar? That's none other than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And with the creators having all but confirmed that we will get voice cameos by Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield and possibly Tobey Maguire, it's guaranteed that their respective versions of Spider-Man will also make appearances in the movie. That's all the Easter eggs and Spider-Man variants we managed to identify on this crazy poster for Across the Spider-Verse. Which one's your favorite? Did you manage to catch any more Spideys we may have missed? Leave a comment and let us know. And if you like our videos, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay nerdy.